everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have the most surprising reads for you from the year 2021. Again, I put this disclaimer on another video. I really planned on getting this out much sooner than now, but better late than never, right? So I decided to choose 5 books that were the most surprising to me, books that I was not anticipating loving as much as I did, and let's just dive right in. So the first one is A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. Now, I'm almost including this entire series in here because I did not think I would love this one as much as I did. I, in February, could not put this series down. I read the entire series, the 3 main books plus the 2 novellas in that same month because I just could not get enough of these couples and these characters and this world, and I just could not get enough. So we're following 2 characters. One is the prince, and one is just a common girl living in the U.S. And she keeps getting these emails that keep saying oh, marry our prince, give us your social security number, to prove you're who we think you are. We think you'd be really great to marry our prince. And she's like, stop, leave me alone. I'm in college. I'm doing the STEM thing. I'm doing me. Leave me alone. And the prince ends up going after her, and they end up having this kind of meet cute where she thinks that he's just a common man, and they kind of fall in love, and it turns out he's the prince, and he brings her back to his country because that's actually where she's originally from. And just it reminded me so much of Black Panther with Coming to America with The Prince and I, the one where the prince comes over and falls in love with a common girl. It just had all these vibes that I just loved to pieces, and I just did not expect to love this one as much as I thought. I thought I'd like it, and I thought it'd be okay, but I was not expecting to love it like I did. So I'm excited that I picked this one up, and I can't wait to read more Alyssa Cole in 2022. We've got Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. Now, this is a book that came out in 2019, and I saw it. It was okay. It never spoke to me enough to pick up, and I saw a lot of people talking about it and how much they loved it, and I still was whatever, I'm not interested. And for some reason, something finally spoke to me that was you should pick that up. So I did, and I read it almost immediately after getting it, and I was totally taken back by this book. I was not expecting to love it, and I really did. We're following this family who have this new technology to try to help take sorry, I think I'm having a contraction right now. They have this new technology where they have this submarine thing where they can submerge people in this thing where they have a helmet, and they get not messes, but it fluctuates your air quality, and it's supposed to help treat different ailments. And one day it explodes, and we're following the trial case of somebody who has been accused of doing this because it ended up murdering the people that were in the submarine. And I really enjoyed this one. I could not put it down. I was really intrigued. We're following different perspectives, and I really didn't know where it was going to end up going. It took me by complete surprise because I really talked this book as a book that I was never going to read, and I loved it. So really surprised me. This was almost comparable to me with The Holdout the year prior. So I really like these types of legal drama-y mystery thrillers that feel courtroom but don't fully feel courtroom. So if you have any suggestions about books like this or The Holdout, I would totally take them. Now, another book that surprised me, this was a book that I read early on in the year. I read this one in January, and that is The Remove by Brandon Hobson. Now, this book I bought knowing, okay, this one's totally out of my comfort zone. I probably won't really like it, but we'll see how it goes. And I could not get enough of this story, and I feel a lot of people, it was either a hit or miss with, and this one was a real true hit for me. We are following this family who lost their son to a tragedy years prior, and it's coming up on the reunion of the anniversary of his death. And they are all coping with it in various ways. And just watching them come together, and we're also following, because it's also around a similar like holiday for this tribe. And the culture in here, and I know that some people kind of called it like, and I think I called it this in the beginning too, like there's kind of like it feels like a magical realism element, but I've now heard that that's kind of not what this is, especially considering like what this particular Cherokee Nation believes. Like it's not magical realism to them. It's not magic to them. It's reality to them. So I found this to be really interesting and thought-provoking and heartbreaking and all of the things. And I really enjoyed this one, and I think that a lot of people should give this one a shot, because I feel like not enough people have like read it or talked about it. And hopefully, I wanted to get to his other book in 2021 and I didn't get to it. So I'm hoping that this year I can get to it, because his writing was really beautiful, and I was really shocked that this such out of the comfort zone type of book ended up really being a good thing for me. So I'm definitely putting this one on. Obviously had to put that one on my list. And then this one took me by complete surprise, and that is The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. And I know you're saying, like, this is stupid. It's, like, super hyped. Like, why would you put this on your surprising list? You knew it was going to be good. Now, I didn't know it was going to be good for me, because I'm not a big fantasy reader. I'm not a fantasy reader whatsoever. I like to slip them in every now and then, but I know that I am not good at this. And I bought it, and then I like read a chapter or two, and then I put it down, and I never picked it back up again. And I was like, okay, like maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I just like wasn't in the mood. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't know why I put it down. I just knew that like I put it down and I never really wanted to pick it back up. I saw it on Hoopla as an audiobook, and I was like, maybe this is my chance to try it. And like, if I really don't like jive with it, like maybe it's just not meant to be. I'm not meant to be one of the people who love this story. And the audiobook just transformed the story completely. The narrator is so amazing. He really brings all of these characters to life and really brings pizzazz and personality, and as much as the story is a fun story, it also is so much deeper than that, where we are following this man who basically goes to all of these orphanages and like checks on like their like magical beings. And he ends up getting on an assignment to this place where they have like the most evil of evil, where like they've got the I forgot what they call him. Why can't I say it? I think he's like Satan's child. But they call him something different. But like they're supposed to be dangerous, and he like learns so much from them, and the caregiver that's there, and he doesn't want to shut this place down. And it's such a beautiful written story, and it gives me all the good feels. Like I almost like want to, like talking about it makes me want to like reread it, and I don't usually like to do that. So this book to me was completely surprising, because I really kind of chalked it up as it wasn't going to be for me, and then it totally was. So excited about that one. And then the last one again was another one that I like had completely written off. Like, this is not going to be good. It's not my thing. I don't want it. Don't put it near me. And then I read it as an audiobook on Hoopla, and I loved it so much that I had to get myself a physical copy. And that is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which again, I know has some love-hate relationship. People are really angry that this made the top 5 of Book of the Month this year, but I voted for it, so I'm going to count it as a win for me. So this is a story that I had seen as like a feminist story, and I, till recently, didn't think I was a feminist. Like, not to say that I wasn't, I felt like I didn't connect with like the extreme feminist. And I felt like this was what this was going to be like, because I had heard it pitched of like this apothecary who basically takes revenge on men. And I was just like, no, like men are good people too. Like, why are we doing this? So I didn't want to pick it up. And then I saw it on Hoopla, and I was like, maybe I'll try it. And I enjoyed this one so much. And it didn't really push that feminist the extreme feminist agenda at me at all, and so I was able to completely enjoy it. So we're following 2 timelines. We're following the current timeline of a woman who goes to London, and she was originally supposed to go with her husband, and he's kind of being a jerk right now, so she goes without him. And she's doing something, I think it's called like mudlarking or something. So she's going through like this mud thing, and she finds this apothecary bottle, and it encourages her to kind of like look into this story about like, where did this bottle come from? Why is it in this water like this? And we're also following the past, which is following this apothecary. And like I said, she is somebody who would make these potions and give them to women to basically take out not nice men. And she kind of gets involved in the whole situation herself and why that bottle ends up where it is. I really liked this one. I know, like I said, a lot of people didn't, but there was something about, I don't know, the narration style or something, but I was totally bought into the story, which was totally a surprise for me because, like I said, I had talked this one out. I was like, this is not going to be for me, and I really loved it. So I'm excited that I gave this one a shot. So all of them, like I said, like I was hesitant about a lot of them, and the fact that they ended up becoming some of my favorites of the year, I'm really excited. So let me know if you've read any of these down below, what your surprising reads were of 2021, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Bye, everybody.